Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you for joining for Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll start with Jai Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajana Jana Jaya Brajajana Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajana Jana Jaya Yamuna Tiravartari Jaya Kunja Bihari Yamuna Tiravartari Bihari Kunja Bihari
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for coming for Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we will be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 2, verse number 17 and 18. Verse number 17. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Canto 4, chapter 2, verse number 70. Maitreya Uvacha Vinindhyaivyam Sagirisha Vinindhyaivam Sagirisha 17, 4 to 17. Pratipam avastitam Pratipam avastitam Dakshotapa upashraya Shotapa upashraya Krodasaptam prachakrame Saptam prachakrame Maitreya uvacha विनिन्द्यैवं स गिरीशाम् अप्रतिपाम् अवस्थितम् दक्षोत्थाप उपाश्रय क्रुद्ध साप्तं प्रचाक्रमे मैत्रेय उवाच विनिन्द्यैवं स गिरीशाम् अप्रतीपम् अवस्थितम् दक्षोथाप उपाश्रुतम् अपम उपाश्रय क्रुद्ध साप्तम परक्षरे. Anyone wants to recite? Word to word translation. Maitreya Vacha. Maitreya said, Vinindhya, abusing, eva, thus, sa, he daksha, girisham, Shiva, apratipam, without any hostility, avastitam, remaining, daksha, daksha, ata, now, apa, water, upashraya, upashrishya, washing hands and mouth, kruddha, anger, angry, saptam, to curse, prachakrame, began to. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The sage Maitreya continued, thus Daksha, seeing Lord Shiva sitting as if against him, washed his hands and mouth and cursed him in the following words. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.2.18. अयं तु देवयज्ञान इन्द्रोपन्द्रे इन्द्रोपन्द्रेतिभिर्भव सह भगवा सह भागं न लभातं देवैर्देवागणाधनम्. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The demigods are eligible to share in the oblations of sacrifice, but Lord Shiva, who is the lowest of all the demigods, should not have a share. Purport. Because of this curse, Shiva was deprived of his share in the oblations of Vedic sacrifice. It was due to the curse of Daksha. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments in this connection that Lord Shiva was saved from the calamity of taking part with other demigods who were all materialistic. Lord Shiva is the greatest devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it is not fitting for him to eat or sit with materialistic person like the demigods. Thus, the curse of Daksha was indirectly a blessing for Shiva. Would indirectly a blessing, for Shiva would not have to eat or sit with other demigods who were too materialistic. There is a practical example set for us by Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj, who used to sit on the side of a latrine to chant Hare Krishna. Many materialistic persons used to come and bother him and disturb his daily routine of chanting. So to avoid their company, he used to sit by the side of a latrine, where materialistic person would not go because of the filth and the obnoxious smell. However, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was so great that he was accepted as the spiritual master of such a great personality of His Divine Grace, Om Vishnupad Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. The conclusion is that Lord Shiva behaved in his own way to avoid materialistic persons who might disturb him in his prosecution of devotional service. So we'll start with Mangalacharan. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोर्वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातां सकना तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं
Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Saptakanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमः श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणे चैतन्य Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you so much for coming for Srimad Bhagavatam class. Please bless me that I can speak and glorify with my limited realizations. Hare Krishna. So, in today's verse, after reading this verse, it is understood that first of all, Daksha, Lord Shiva, all the demigods, and everyone, they are playing their roles. They are all great personalities. And when I am speaking with my limited consciousness, I might try to get them to my level. That oh, Daksha is like cursing Lord Shiva, demigods are all materialistic. Even yeah, it's true that Srila Prabhupada himself is saying here in the purport, but he and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is also commenting here. But they have the proper understanding of who they are. But when I speak, I might try to get them to my level. So I first of all I pray to all these great personalities before I speak anything. So in this in this after reading this purport, it is understood that, or it might be, uh, uh, it will be clear that if somebody is materialistic person or materially attached, then all the great personalities want to avoid them. For example, in this, how Lord Shiva was very much happy not to sit with the demigods, and how Gorkishore Babaji Maharaj was very happy to avoid all the materialistic person. So if we are very materialistic, then all the great personality want to avoid their association. So that means it is very important for us to realize that being materialistic opulent. And also we have one more example, Prataprutra, Maharaj Prataprutra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not want to give his association to Maharaj Prataprutra because he was king. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was thinking that, oh, Maharaj Prataprutra is very materially opulent, so he don't want to associate with such a such a opulent such a materialistic person. But Maharaj Prataprutra was a great devotee. Externally, he might be materialist, he might be a king, but he was a great devotee. Even we have one more example, Pondrik Vidyanidhi. He was also very rich, and he used to be. There were many servants used to decorate him with jewelry. And then when Gadadhar Pandit saw Pondrik Vidyanidhi, he was thinking that, oh, he is a very he's very materialistic person. But then when he started speaking, when he started reciting the verses of Putana from Srimad Bhagavatam, of the pastime of the Putana and Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Pondrik Vidyanidhi just like fell on the ground and started in the madness, started rolling on the ground in the love of by hearing the pastime of Krishna. Then Gadadhar Pandit realized that oh, he's not any ordinary person, not just a materialistic person, but a very elevated soul. So similarly, even though being rich, being materialistic, materially opulent, if we can still put our at at as a Krishna conscious person, if we are always thinking of Krishna, externally you might be anything, then you are a great devotee. But in this case, when Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is commenting, his meaning, the meaning of this materialistic people is is that they are not any they are not inclined to spiritual advancement. They are only inclined for material gain, and that is the reason great personalities don't want to waste their time. If somebody shows little inclination towards spiritual life, then these great personalities will take pleasure in preaching those people. But if 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 even if some person, even the materialistic opulent, if he have little inclination towards advancing in spiritual life, these great personalities take pleasure in preaching them. But if they see that it is just a waste of time, it's like preaching the rock, then they don't want to give their association. And for this great personality, whether it is a curse or a boon doesn't matter. And for them, whatever it is, they always see hand of Krishna in everything. And that is why they don't care whether some curse is coming towards them or some blessing or some. Similar example is of Narad Muni. Narad Muni was also cursed by Daksha when he was in the before giving birth to daughters. So he was cursed that when Daksha's sons, Narad Muni preached all the 10,000 sons of Daksha and made them brahmacharis. And then Daksha became angry. Second time when Narad Muni preached and thousand sons of Daksha and made them brahmachari, and then Narad Muni went to Daksha saying that I preached them. So Daksha became angry and cursed Narad Muni that you cannot stay at any place more than I think something 3 minutes or some very short amount of time. And Narad Muni was very happy. He was like, "Oh, you gave me opportunity to go at many places and preach." So that's how this devotees, great personalities take curse or blessing. 3 days, more than 3 days. Okay, so Prabhuji is saying that it was like the curse was he cannot say any at any place for more than 3 days. So how being a materialistic person will make will will pave our path towards hellish life. I was yesterday. I was having a class, and in that we were reading from Bhagavad Gita 2.6 to 2.10, in which in where Arjuna give all his reasons why he cannot fight, and then he says, "I surrender unto you. Now we are not friends anymore. You are my spiritual master. Please guide me. My intelligence is clouded." So there in the purport, so many places Prabhupada is writing about the perplexities and the material attachment. Two things. What is meant by perplexities? Perplexity means, should I do this or should I do that? Like Arjuna had perplexity. Should I fight or should I not fight? If I fight, I am killing my relatives. If I don't fight, I am not doing my duty. What is correct? So he was not able to take decision. So that, and in that situation, if you surrender to spiritual master, devotee of Krishna, great personality, then your all the ignorance will be removed. All the clouds of the ignorance will be washed away by the winds of the knowledge coming from the spiritual master. So how even though Arjuna is also like at a higher position, and still when he surrendered to Krishna, that please give me guidance, please remove my ignorance. The way he surrendered, Krishna took pleasure in becoming his spiritual master, and Krishna just removed all his ignorance. And in the end, Arjuna, Arjuna became very much self-realized that he is not a body, his soul. They are not the body, they are all soul. Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead, and his duty is to follow the instruction of Krishna. That is his sole duty. There is no other duty, no bodily duty. Only duty is to follow instruction of Krishna. So when he surrendered, Krishna removed all his doubts, all his ignorance, and then he came to know his actual position. So being materially opulent is not harm, but mentally, if your consciousness is not to improve, to self-realize, that is harm. Whether externally anything, uh, externally you can be anything, but your consciousness to be to serve devotees and Krishna, and to know your position in the spiritual world in the service of Krishna. So when you are in a perplex, like here in this situation, again and again we are speaking that Daksha could have taken advice before taking this kind of decision, what to do, what not to do. Like he could have taken advice of at least Lord Brahma. So, but he did not take that advice. He just he just thought he's correct. Whatever he's thinking is correct, and he thought that his authority. He can do anything, and he took this extreme step. So why this comes again in those purports only, Bhagavad Gita 2.9, 2.789. So there in that purport, material attachment. Srila Prabhupada all says that material attachment is a cause of ignorance. So many examples. Dhritarashtra was materially attached to the throne, and Dhritarashtra was attached to his son. Even though he could have stopped so many things, for example, he could have stopped Dushasan and Dhritarashtra to not disrobe Draupadi. Then there, but he did not stop because of of his attachment towards throne and his attachment towards his son. Because of this material attachment, Dhritarashtra couldn't take proper decision. And when Draupadi went and asked for help to Dhritarashtra and everyone, nobody could take nobody dared to help. And Duryodhan was not king. He was son of a king. He was just a princess. He did not have any authority. Only only Dhritarashtra has authority, but still, because of the attachment towards towards his son, he couldn't he couldn't stop his son, and Duryodhan assumed all the power and he started giving instruction. Similarly, we see in the example of Uttanpad. Uttanpad, when Dhruva came to sit on the lap, Uttanpad did not even care to see Dhruva with affection. He just ignored Dhruva because Uttanpad was attached to his wife Suniti, Suruchi. He was attached to his wife Suruchi. And then because he was attached and Suruchi was there, Uttanpad did not even care to see his own son, Dhruv Maharaj, with affection. But in this case, it was very good for Dhruv Maharaj because when Dhruv Maharaj went crying to his mother Suniti, she gave him very good advice that nobody can help you, only Supreme Personality of Godhead can help you. Please go and pray to him. And when he, with the determination, went out in anger that I will show my father that his position is nothing in front of me, and I want a greater planet, greater than Brahma. With the determination, even though he had some motive to enjoy material motive and anger, when Narad Muni came and saw his determination, Narad Muni showed him the way to uh, uh, perform a devotional service towards Lord Vishnu, and in the end, he could attain Lord Vishnu. In this case, it was very good. Why? Because of the advice he got from his mother. Similarly, if Daksha would have asked Brahma, he would have also got good advice, and it would have turned in different way. But Daksha did not ask. Similarly, Duryodhan would have asked, or Dushasan. Actually, Vidura was there to advise. He was he was keep on advising Dushasan and Duryodhan and Dhritarashtra. But Dhritarashtra knew that it is wrong, whatever he is doing wrong. But because of the weakness of the heart, how this weakness of heart came? Because of the material attachment, and because of that, he couldn't take any step, any strong step towards Duryodhan. And Duryodhan did not even bother to think Vidura as his equal. That's why he did not take advice, and it lead to to downfall of it lead to downfall of Kuru dynasty. So when Dhruv Maharaj got good advice, he took that advice. Dhritarashtra did not took that advice, and Daksh Maharaj did not even care to ask for any advice. So this is why when you are materially attached to something, you will have weakness of your heart, and because of the weakness of the heart, it is very difficult for you to take good advice, to follow to advise us instruction of the spiritual master. And similarly, there is a key again. There are many examples like Kamsa. He was attached. He was actually very much affectionate towards his sister Devaki, but he was also materially very much attached to kingdom, to his body, and to everything. And when this celestial voice came, and spoke that he is going to die by the eighth son of Devaki, immediately all his affection was vanished because of that material attachment towards his body and towards everything else. And he wanted to kill Devaki. But because Vasudev was there, and and this Kamsa was at least heard the advice of Vasudev, he saved Devaki. And again, one more example is Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj. Hiranyakashipu was materially attached to everything. Like Hiranyakashipu, his name only says that he's attached to money and sex life. So he was materially attached. And when Dhruv Maharaj started giving him advice that why are you doing all this thing, leave everything and just pray to Lord Vishnu, he couldn't take it, and he became against Prahlad Maharaj, and he wanted to kill Prahlad Maharaj. So in all these cases, we see that whoever is materially attached, they cannot take advice. But only in one case, Dhruv Maharaj, because he took the advice very seriously of his mother and Narad Muni, he could able to perform and he got Lord Vishnu. So everybody who are in this material world are not pure by, at least I'm speaking out myself, we are not pure by birth. We have so many conditioning. But if we by our good fortune, when we got this association, when we got opportunity to get connected with so many pure devotees and so many great devotees of Lord Krishna, and devotees of, and the servant of the Lord Krishna, and when they are seeing us and they know our all, they can clearly see how much we are in the water, and when they are trying to give us advice, we have to take it very seriously, we have to try to take it very seriously, and when we take it very seriously, then end goal will be like what Dhruv Maharaj got. He could able to achieve Lord Vishnu. If we don't take it, then end goal will be Hiranyakashipu's, Duryodhan, and then there are so many examples what happened when they did not take advice seriously. So after reading this pastime, when Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that these great personalities like Lord Shiva, they don't want to sit and or eat with the materialistic persons like demigods. So this curse was like a blessing, so that Lord Shiva could avoid all these oblations. So, and then Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj example in this purport. So it is seen that this great personality want to avoid materialistic person. But if we have little inclination to understand Krishna, to move to go forward in our spiritual life, then this great personality will take pleasure to preach us and to help us to grow in our Krishna consciousness. So we have to develop this mood when we are getting the advice, when we got this opportunity and staying in the association of these great personalities. So try to develop this mood to get all the instruction very humbly, like how Arjuna was trying to hear from God, surrendered to Krishna in the humble mood and heard. So, and then the end result will be very good. We'll all get the mercy of Guru and Krishna, and we will avoid going through the consequences which Daksha has went through. So that is what I can speak from today's words. Please forgive me if I have spoken anything wrong. Please correct me if there are any correction. Thank you so much. Like I was saying, Prabhuji, that Daksha did not care to ask advice with anyone. So that is why consequences of Daksha was very bad when he took decision from his own. If and only if he would have asked some advice from his senior authorities, it would have been very different. So that's how I wanted.
That they have wealth, or they have money, position, or they have followers. So what happens? Their doer mentality comes very easily. Proprietorship mentality comes. That time they don't take advice. They, then they want everybody to follow them. Right? So passion is a pride is causing this thing, or false ego? Is a false ego is driving him to do, not to take advice, or pride is causing him to not to take advice?
So we can take the two examples, Prabhuji. Maharaj Prataprudra and then Hiranyakashipu. Maharaj Prataprudra, for Maharaj Prataprudra, there he was in the higher position, but he did not had that pride that, oh, I am in that higher position. He wanted to serve devotees in humble way. We can see from the example he was sweeping the roads when Jagannath Rath Yatra was going on. So he showed humility. When there is a humility, there is no question of pride. And false ego, I am the doer. That should also not come. If Prataputra would have thought, I am the king, how can that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being sannyasi is not giving me audience? So that I am the doer and pride is actually, if you see, they are interconnected. When you think I did it, pride arises. When you think that it's all by the mercy of Krishna, I am just an instrument, there is no question of pride, and your false ego is also converting into real ego because you are thinking that you are not the doer, Krishna is the doer. In the Hiranyakashipu, when when and also Pondrik Vidyanidhi, he was very rich, but we cannot relate here the situation of Pondrik Vidyanidhi because he was, as soon as he heard about the pastime of Putna and Krishna, he started. So he was in the situation that he is only there, just there, but internally he was a Krishna conscious person. And then Hiranyakashipu, if we see, he had so much pride. And Ravana, everybody said Ravana that please give Sita back. Ravana said, no, I'll not give. Because first of all, he's very pride that he's very powerful. And second, he said he's also having ego. That how can I give? How can somebody have some more precious thing than I have? So that is ego and also envy. So if we see when you are in the higher position, whatever I understand, Prabhuji, that pride is for sure is prominent and ego is always there. Because of the ego we have, because of our false ego, we are put in this we try to think we are the body, we are not the soul. Because of the false ego, we connect ourselves with the body, and once we connect ourselves with the body, pride comes, anger comes, greed comes, envy comes, lust comes. If we don't connect ourselves with the body, where is the pride, where is the anger, where is the greed, where is the lust, and where is envy? Because we know, because when we are connecting ourselves with the body, then only all these anarthas come. But if we just see that we are the soul, there is no anarthas and there is no misery, because soul is always Satchitanand. Real ego means we are not the doer, Krishna is the doer. We have realized we are not the body, we are spirit soul, then our nature will be Sat Chit Anand, always bliss, always eternal in the knowledge, and always eternal. So there is no question of anarthas. So when we are in the higher or lower, doesn't matter. When we are in the lower position, we feel that, oh, I don't have the power, so I cannot do anything. But same person, if he is in the higher position, he gets the power, then he will get the pride. He thinks that, oh, now I can do, now I have everything, all I can do whatever I want to do. So in that way, pride comes. So it's all, whether higher or lower, if if you did not, if you are attaching, if you are thinking yourself as a body, then all these things come to it. That's what I can think and I can say. If you can correct me. Anything else? Yeah, that's what from the purport Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying. So that's what I could understand. So it's not. Yeah. Yes.
But here, Daksha is also devotee of Vishnu.
Yeah.
He's not ordinary person.
Yeah, that's what I
Not
yes.
like his way. He's a Prajapati. He's Brahma's son. He's Vishnu's. But what it says that even though when we are in the higher level, we have to be alert. The, it's very dangerous place.
Yeah.
His offense can be. So it says we have to be alert. We have to be careful.
That is why the third, fourth verse, na dhanam na janam na sundarim. That is, even though we are devotees, still Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, don't aim for these three things. This this might ruin your bhakti. Like Nadanam Najanam Nasunda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, right, no position, no money, no woman. What was it?
No.
Yeah, that's why we like Prabhuji. Anybody have any questions on Zoom? If nobody have anything, then we'll end here. Vanchakalpatarvishya Kripa- Koಟಿ Prabhupada. I'm ending. Hare Krishna.